I know things you never see. You never see someone taking a shit while running at full speed.
Come on, kid, get rid of some of them turds in the shit box.
Welcome to the Bathroom Break Podcast with me, Rab himself. Hey, welcome to the Bathroom Break Podcast with me, Rab himself. Today I have the ultimate champion of ping pong, Mr. Kyle Newacheck.
You start there, huh? That's good. Yeah, I mean, they were great games, but I did end up coming out victorious.
Yes, you did.
I really had to focus. Like, I really had to focus and get in my own head in that third game.
Yeah.
I remember being like, stop.
Stop fooling around here.
Stop fooling around and let's go.
Dude, I tried to focus the whole time, and it just didn't work.
I would find myself getting a little bit distracted by Eduardo's jokes, and I would like jump in on the jokes. But that third game, no. It was like this turned into a real sport.
Yeah. Dude, we both almost got injured during it. Like, at one point, I fell over and almost rolled my ankle.
That's true. And I dove for one on my knees, too. Yeah. It was crazy.
It was wild. It was
super fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun, man. It was crazy. And you really are the champion. I'm not going to lie. I thought I was going to win going in, and I was very disappointed. I stayed up till about 4 a.m. that night just going over, like, what did I do wrong?
Really? Just like,
dude,
yeah.
Well, it was. I'm joking about whether, like, analyzing the game, but the reality was, after that, I had like so much adrenaline pumping, and I was up till 4 a.m. I'm like, from ping pong. Like, I was this jacked up from ping pong. It was like, but I was like, whew, like walking around my place, like, whew, man.
Oh yeah.
Right.
It's an intense ass sport, man.
Yeah.
Like, we used to play a lot, but what I was super surprised about was, like, when we so we would be talking shit in between, and then everybody, the crowd would be kind of rowdy and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then once we served it and got into some rallies, quiet.
Oh yeah.
Dead quiet.
They respected it like it was Wimbledon.
And it's like, you can't do anything but focus on that ball when ping pong's being played. It's kind of a captivating sport too.
Yeah.
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 I know, man. It's such a fun game.
Dude, it was fun.
And it was live. And we had that too, where it was like actual live sports, you know. We felt like that. I mean, that was like our Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So I get the adrenaline rush, like, it was like
man.
a Super Bowl to us. When my wife came in here, she said, "This is the biggest little event I've ever seen."
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny, man. You had your family there rooting you on. And
Totally.
I had my wife, who was a traitor. She had like signs against me, and
sometimes you got to deal with that, though. You know what I mean? That's all right. It only makes you stronger.
Yes.
After the whole argument thing, then you get stronger.
Way stronger.
Yeah.
So, dude, well, good to see you, man.
Yeah, likewise, man. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, you were the first real match,
Oh, you heard it here.
Yeah. I mean, TK was the pilot, was like the tone poem, and then you were the proper piloting of the Wonk Celebrity Ping Pong.
Oh, well, I'm honored.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, going back and forth on Instagram and stuff,
Yeah.
and just like talking shit for...
Yeah, well, it was so funny because Zach, our mutual friend, let me know that you were like a fan of Hulk Hogan.
Oh, yeah.
So that was his thing. He was like, you got to do something to make fun of the Hulk Hogan thing or whatever. And that was where I was like, okay.
I thought it was cool. Like, we actually you came out to Hulk Hogan, like, original music.
Mm-hmm.
And I came out to Hulk Hogan NWO Hollywood, Hulk Hogan music, which I thought was fitting because I like being Hollywood and all that. It's like, wow, what is this? And now... Yeah, it's crazy.
I know, it's crazy. Well, now I feel like we've got to call out Hulk Hogan and get him to come play a match.
Well, we're looking for the next opponent. We got to make sure that schedules match and all that stuff. But I'm pretty much ready to start searching.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're ready to go. We got a few other events that we're doing here, but it's getting next on the calendar as the
Yeah.
next ping pong match.
Oh, I'm excited for it, man.
Yeah.
I'll be in the stands
Yeah.
trying to trash talk against you.
Yeah, you got to. Well, that's where who knows? Maybe you'll show up as part of the story. You never know. When you infuse ping pong with fucking wrestling, the pageantry of wrestling, you never know what you're gonna get. Somebody could really. We were talking about somebody could accidentally fall on the ping pong table and you don't get to finish the match.
Oh man,
you know what I mean? That could happen accidentally.
It's like a battle royale.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, you got to tune in next week.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Wow. So I wanted to get into a little bit about like kind of learning about you. Like I said, I met you through my buddy Zach, and I've known of you from your show. And watched your show, and you guys are hilarious, and like, I mean, I've just loved all the stuff you've done, but I didn't really know, like, how did that happen and how did you come up? I had learned about your improv group and then how that kind of escalated into what was Workaholics.
Yeah, I mean, it goes way back, like with the arts.
Yeah.
With me.
Yes.
Like, for sure, drawn to the arts at a very young age.
Yeah.
Like, loved it.
Yeah. Because you're a musician as well.
Yeah.
You've
I
got
had a
an
bass guitar
album coming out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Music was first. I had a bass guitar, played the trumpet, and in band and stuff, And then I remember at one point it was kind of like in 6th grade you had to choose between whether or not I was gonna like play the trumpet in the the band, or if I was gonna do drama. And I really wanted to do drama.
Okay.
Because I just like enjoyed and being in front of people. Entertainment globally is something that always attracted me like a magnet. Like if I could get a laugh or a reaction from one person, dope. If I can get it from 5 people, way better. 10 people, whoa. My whole family, I got my whole family laughing.
Yeah.
Like how can you connect on that level is definitely something that I loved, and I think I found that to be more, it was easier to do and to recognize on the stage when you were acting as opposed to being on the stage playing an instrument.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like you're with a whole bunch of people and you play one song and then it's like you hear some clapping and stuff. But if you're in like comedy and you say a joke and there's a laughter, like that's uncontrollable. You know that was directly related to the note that you just hit comedically.
Yeah.
So I think I liked that form of entertainment,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so but you continued to play music and do both, and then you kind of just branched out into all of it, really.
Yep. Continued to play music. My dad built a little room inside of our garage. It was a soundproof room about the same size as this, and we had like 6 computers, and we learned how to record audio.
Yeah.
Because my dad was a computer guy. Like he's a construction worker, but on the side, him and my grandfather used to build computers and just play with like the internet and send messages back and forth, and just always interested in that technology. So we had those computers, just parts and stuff all over the house. So we would build them for the sole capability of, or the sole purpose of recording audio, so that was the audio computer. And it was like, okay, now I can plug my bass in, and I can put a microphone up to it, and I can run it into here, and I can record just that track of bass.
Yeah.
Or I can record just my voice and put it on top of the bass, and I learned how to do that in the garage when I was about, I want to say I was probably like 14, like 13 or 14. And my dad says now that he built that space to keep me at the house, to keep me out of trouble, because he knew I loved it.
That's smart.
And I mean, I still found a way to get into trouble even in that room.
Yeah. Well, at least you're in trouble in front of him, so he can manage it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, so then it just started. I started going from there, and then my grandfather also loved photography, Same with my dad. And at the time they had those interests as hobbies. They were totally two separate things. One was a camera and the other was a computer, unrelated.
Yeah.
But when I was about 13 or 14, learning this computer stuff, learning how to digitize, that was a new thing. Digitizing,
for real.
you know,
yeah.
on the prosumer front, it's like, how do you digitize? Only Lucas was doing that shit before, you know, but all of a sudden I'm 13. So that's like 97, you know, around the turn of the century. It was like they become one. Cameras and photography becomes one. They become a computer. You know what I mean? So it's like all of a sudden, I wasn't afraid of it. Neither me or my brother, who's a filmmaker as well.
Yeah.
And we weren't afraid of like just jumping into the wild unknown in this digital world.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And yeah. And it was, more importantly at that point, I didn't even think about that. It was just about telling the stories. What was the funniness? What was...
Yeah.
But yeah, they became one.
And using that stuff to be able to tell the stories kind of all falls together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool because, I mean, like as you were talking, I was thinking about how incredible it is to have support from your parents that, like, you know, build a space for you like that to do that. We kind of had that in Bam's parents over at his house. That's what it was. There was like a little dungeon, and we were making music in the basement, and there was skate ramps in the backyard. And as you said it, I thought, you know what, that probably makes perfect sense. Phil probably did the same thing, built the ramps in the yard and put the little studio in the basements to keep us kind of there.
You're right.
You know? And we were all there, and we all went over and kind of created together there. And it was just, it's so important, I think, to have a space like that where you can kind of create and just do goofball stuff and just try things.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look at what you guys did with that space, you
Yeah.
know? I mean, you guys, like, changed the game while I was in high school thinking about how I was going to get in on it. All of a sudden now I'm watching guys like you do this in their own way, you know?
Yeah.
And it was much more reality based than what I was interested in.
Right.
I was like in real and graphic and stuff. I was into like graphic shit, but I always kind of dug on the escapism of film.
Right.
I always like going to another world and doing something a little bit more surreal that I wouldn't get in this world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
But I was seeing how, like, you guys, it was like, damn, they're getting all this recognition, all of this, like, they're doing this themselves.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's a motivator, huge motivator. Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's cool. And it's funny because I have interest in, like you, in escaping into the film stuff too. And I think you know, that's what I do now is like little short films and stuff, and I'm working towards directing in that world. And
It's tight.
And but yeah, like the reality of it was, hey, just pick up a camera, go knock some stuff off the shelves in a grocery store, and it was like, you know, it was easy to do that.
Yeah.
And then,
yes.
but we would also do these dumb little skits of like, you know, pretending like we were in class and like, you know, like Bam's the teacher, and then you know, and doing things like that too, and we like, it was weird. It was like a hodgepodge of all random stuff. And then, of course, we tried doing like a movie Haggard or whatever, and you know, it was a bunch of amateur people trying to put a movie together. But it was fun learning that, and I think it just kind of was like so many different avenues. You know, obviously CKY the band, but then also CKY the crew that was filming the stunts and the random stuff, and then Brandon DiCamillo was like, you know, the skit guy that would do funny little acting out scenes.
Yeah,
and
right. Deco.
So, yeah.
He always had funny shit.
Yeah.
That was who Brandon Deco was, who my friends would compare me to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, you're like Deco. I'm like, oh, tight.
yeah, cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I still say this even in big meetings when I'm going to fucking like you know, if I'm going to get a meeting, do Minecraft, you know, big old property, I will not lie. I'll be like, they'll say like, what's the funniest movie you ever seen in the theater? And it was fucking Jackass 2.
Yeah.
Like straight up. Like
Yeah.
the most laughs per minute I've had was watching Jackass 2 with a group of people excited to watch it.
Yeah.
And just like the reactions being in that room was so like visceral and just like fun and like
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
And like
yeah.
worried and like, contemplating life itself. Like, what are we as people? But it's a true reflection of society. So like what you guys were starting there was a reflective mirror of society, which is what art is.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like it was true art. It was very, very, you guys, it's true shit.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Bonkers.
Yeah, no, that's fun, man, and it is wild. I sat down with Pontius a couple weeks ago, and I think we all agree, like, we miss it because there is just a certain chemistry amongst all the guys that like, you can go out and do your own little projects and do all these things, but there's just something about when you bring everybody together, how it just kind of takes off in funny directions, and like I feel like that's like I see that with you guys because Game Over Man is hilarious and is so good. Zach showed me that one, and I love that movie, but it's also like bringing back the team together again, after Workaholics, and
Yep.
kind of there's something about when there's a good chemistry like that, you just can't replace that, and you can't, it's like it is what it is.
Yeah, you can't. People thought that the show was a reality show, like Workaholics, for like the first 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Even though when you watch it, it's like it's not a
Clearly not.
It's clearly not.
Yeah.
But I think that it's because of the dude's natural ability to converse with each other. And the friendship was there off the screen, so it permeated through the screen.
Yeah.
It wasn't just acting there. That was a real thing.
Yeah.
And then being able to just naturalistically flow with comedy and kind of go avenues and take this little turn, and then, everybody's there with you. It's like we didn't, I was the director of that, and I didn't try and harness that. Like, I didn't try and force it in any real direction except for the one that naturally flowed with all 4 of us when we would sit there and rehearse it and like talk and figure out right before we're about to shoot, like, what is it we're gonna say. Never tried to force anything. It was just kind of like, that's the funniest now, even though that's not written. That's the funniest shit.
Yeah.
So how do we get there?
Now
we just got to get there.
Yeah. And I think of that with that scene that I was trying to parody with the Hulk Hogan stuff, but the scene where you're doing the bum massage.
Oh
thing.
yeah.
And like within that scene, like you were telling me, there was a lot of improv going on in that, and it's just hilarious. Like just the lines that were happening, and it felt like, okay, these guys are just kind of doing this dance and they know it, and not forcing a funny line, but just allowing it to happen. And like there was just lines in that were like, yeah, that was the best possible line that could have been said that was hilarious. Like you could have tried to go over the top with something, real witty or whatever, but it was the one line that cracked me up was something like, it smells like, well, yeah, it smells like, rubbing down bums or whatever. And it was like, I don't know what the exact line was, but it was just like, it could have been like, it smells like, something vomiting on this, and it could have been this try to be funny, but
that's what we were doing. We were in that world where it's like everybody does smells like jokes.
Yeah.
I don't want to do a smells like joke. Yeah. Let's attempt at a smells like joke, but then just come back to reality.
Yeah. That was the funniest part to me. Was that like, just that is hilarious because it's like, well, it just smells like that.
Yeah.
It's like, damn.
And clearly that's the funniest thing in that moment. So that lives, you know?
Right.
That lives. And it's all about like everybody that's in the scene being a part of that scene. The more people are focused on what the goal is and like everybody's paying attention, the better shit you get, because then everybody's like kind of chiming in from a real place
Yeah.
And they're like, I could say this, or they just say it, and it's like, oh, that's funny. Let's put that there, but that would work better if they teed that up somehow. So now you got to pay attention. It's a lot of communication, and like a lot of navigating that in a way that is hard because you're up against the clock too when you're making that stuff, and you're like, well, we got to get this done because we have another
day to
6
make,
pages to shoot, and we're about to go to lunch. We don't have a lot of time.
And you're like, we could sit here all day, but but something's nice about having that pressure, I think, to like push you along.
It's great.
Yeah, like it helps.
And that's, I think, the fun of the director is, or at least how I take the job, is kind of pushing that into positive results.
Yeah.
And trying to make sure that everybody has a positive result, and that, or if you need it, if it's for the scene, we're all here together and we're doing it like this.
Yeah.
Because I don't really like to do on my sets, it's not like, I used to do like, say that line again. Okay, say that line again.
Yeah.
Okay, try it one more time.
Yeah.
Just because of like the edit,
Yeah.
But
then
as I've gotten more into it, the better thing is to just let people go through the scene and really try and feel it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have faith that you'll get it when it's there.
Yeah. That it will be truthful in the moment,
Yeah.
and you get the performance,
Yeah.
not just the joke.
Yeah.
I think I became more performance-based, less joke-based. The more I've done this, that's more of where I find myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. And so like, did you kind of naturally just like gravitate into the director position? Is that like how it happened for you, or like because when you speak of like, when you're younger and it was like, okay, you have this space, and it sort of sounds like even at that point you were the guy that was kind of putting things together. You have a computer, then you have a camera, and you're going, and you're doing that, and you're already kind of falling into that role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that I was drawn to that role. I didn't really take credit for that role until, I'd have to go back and look at some of my early short films I did like in high school and see if I was all about the director title, or if I kind of gave it to the group, like the collective, because we were making shit up on the spot.
Yeah.
But I always held the director title, the director, at a very high regard, and so I was kind of like, I'm not there yet. I remember having that thought, and when I went to film school, I directed some stuff, but my goal in life was to be an editor. Like, I just wanted to be an editor. I wanted to cut.
Yeah.
I saw that as a real attainable gig that I could get in Hollywood that wasn't a grip. Because I was going to be a grip too.
Right.
I was almost that. And then it was like, no, hold on
Yeah,
a
yeah,
second.
yeah.
Wait, what am I
Wait
doing?
up.
Okay, I got to focus on editing. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to focus on editing. And then I started collecting data so that I could edit shit.
Yeah.
And what does a director do? Collects the data. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I am doing this. I'm a director. Like, that's what I'm doing.
Well, that's what I was thinking when you were saying like editing, because it's like, well, you got to be a great editor to be a good director. So it's kind of, I feel like, all encompassing, and the fact that your mind is naturally gravitating that way too, going, hey, editing, and it's like, because your interest is in directing, and it's like, but in order to be good at that, you can't sit on a set and go, well, hopefully we got it, and then I guess when we get back there, we'll see. You
No,
it's
you
like,
got to know your sequence.
Yeah. So
And I like, editing was kind of the sneak attack on the rest of the industry, because I would like watch it and have to deal with the footage. That's like the last stop of storytelling.
yeah,
So you're like, all right, I know what we need to get the point across in the edit bay. A lot of people that want to become directors and they don't really know why, they just know they want to be a director, will spend all day working on a shot and take the whole crew's time working on that shot, and it's like, you get into the edit bay and maybe the shot is like the prettiest thing you could have got that day, but it's not how you can tell this. It's not how it's made. It's like,
not
you have to be
driving
able
the
to cut
story
it.
forward.
I've heard of directors on TV that do that shit, where it's like,
Yeah.
you know.
And just having like edited some shorts myself and directed some little ones myself, like I feel like no matter how hard you want to try to force that beautiful shot, great scene, it seems to be the one that's like, I don't fit here. And you're like, damn it. You know, and you want it bad, but then you recognize when you watch, you're like, I'm just clearly forcing that in there. And it doesn't really drive the story forward. It doesn't really make any sense to be there.
That's true. I mean,
sometimes you get lucky and that's it. But I feel like a lot of times it's like that, like you're saying, rather than saying, say it again, it's like allowing it to happen. And with that kind of a shot, especially I'm a camera guy too. So like, so there's times where I'll shoot stuff and I'm like, that is so beautiful. No, it has to make it. And then it doesn't. And you're like, well, it just didn't work.
It just hits the floor. You know, it didn't quite have, it had what you thought on the day, but maybe that's not what the project needs in the end.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you have to be able to deal with those like disasters.
Yeah.
In your mind. That's like a creative disaster.
Yeah.
Where you're like, God, I have to get this thing, and then it's like, oh, but we don't even need it. You know, and you're like, fuck, why didn't I? How did I not know that? How did I think we had to have that? It's just. That's just process, you know?
Yeah.
It's just the process of every project goes through their own little thing, and you're like,
yeah, that's crazy. Well, so, well, on the topic of directing, like I know you just directed a pretty big movie recently, and I didn't know how much you could talk about it or go into it about it or when it may come out.
Yeah, I mean it's like, you know, they're in the trailer phase right now, so they're cutting it.
Oh, cool.
And, like we're cutting the trailer. I mean, we're pretty close to being done with the edit on it, like locked
on the full
movie.
Oh, awesome.
Yep. It's for Netflix.
Yeah.
It's called Murder Mystery. I hope the title stays that way. I'm pretty sure it's going to.
Yeah.
And it stars Adam Sandler, and Jennifer Aniston, Luke Evans, and a bunch of other radical cast. You know.
Yeah. So let me ask real quick. Does the 14-year-old that was in the garage, like putting a computer with a camera, can you believe that you're in a position that you're at to be directing Adam Sandler? I don't know about you, but I was a huge Adam Sandler fan.
Oh yeah, me
growing
too.
up, and like that's got to be surreal to be in that situation. And Jennifer Aniston is hilarious and awesome too. And I begrudgingly will admit that I did like Friends. I would say oh no, I'm like too much of a dude to like that. You know,
Dude,
but I did, and it was hilarious.
I just like started watching Friends. I didn't watch Friends back in the day. I just watched it after I directed her, and I'm like, this fucking show rocks.
I secretly watched it.
It is so good. It is so good.
Yeah.
And there's a major dude element. I mean,
yeah.
Chandler and fucking Joey, and
they're funny.
They're funny.
Yeah.
It's like I watched that and I was like, damn, Workaholics was just like one half of Friends.
Yeah.
Like degenerates in one half of Friends. You know? But I mean, Jen is amazing. She's like one of those comedians that you're like, oh, you've been paired against like every heavyweight, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like all the heavyweights of comedy. So she herself is a heavyweight of comedy.
Yeah, for sure.
Like a major, like just she's a super talent.
Yeah.
Super talent.
Yeah. And I mean, that's why I'm saying like just like the 14-year-old you, like the two of them.
Yeah, it's trippy,
like,
dude.
Wow.
Like Sandler too. Like I mean, the 10-year-old me who was listening to Toll Booth Willie and always quoted for the next like 25 years, I'm coming out of the booth, finds himself on set in Italy with Adam Sandler talking to his director of photography and AD, and is mad, and I'm in my director's chair and I'm saying, I'm coming out of the booth. And then I look over and I'm like, stop. And I stopped the set and I was like, Adam, dude, because he looked at me and he's like, what's up? I'm like, Adam, is it okay? Like, that's in my DNA. I'm in no way saying that because you're sitting right here.
Yeah.
It's not like related to that, but like I'm saying it because you said it and that influence that's in my DNA. Is it okay? And he's like, just say it.
Yeah.
Stop getting all wound up. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
He's the best.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah, he's the best. Like, really, it was like, just an amazing.
Well, I just, I mean,
experience.
right when it came out, the 100% Fresh, when that came out, I mean, for me, that was just so incredible because so nostalgic in so many ways, all new material, but it felt like they're all going to laugh at you. And like, it felt like that for me. So I was just like, man, I watched it like 10 times and I'll probably watch it again when I go home because that was such a awesome project. And I'm excited to see your movie
just
too.
on 100% Fresh. It's like amazing how Sandler still has the ability to break the mold. Like that is like
an incredible ability to do it.
Like it's bizarre. Like where you're like, wait a minute, you've been around forever. Comedy's been around forever. Comedy specials are in a renaissance right now. Everybody's doing a special, but nobody shot it over the course of 2 years.
Yeah.
He shot his over the course of of 2 or 3 years.
Oh yeah.
He approached it like a skate video. And it's like skate
Right,
videos take forever to build their parts. It's like I've been shooting this part for a year and a half, for 2 years, and it's finally getting out.
Yeah.
That's what his special was.
Wow, I didn't even think of it like that, but that's that's a great way to look at it because it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and that itself broke the art form.
Yeah.
Which makes him a leader again.
Yeah. Immediately like that. Yeah.
And it's never not been a leader, but in a way that like artists are like myself, I'm just like, what the fuck? That's so dope.
Yeah. Like, damn, you just come in here with that?
Like, you truly are the dopest.
Yeah.
Okay, great, man. And
Yeah.
he calls it 100% Fresh, which is a direct like stab at Rotten Tomatoes, who give him shit reviews for his movies.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, you're fucking got rapper swagger, dude. Like,
well, he's got some good raps in there.
I know, Phone Wall and Keys.
Yeah.
Oh man, I got nothing but respect for that man, dude.
Yeah, the one part, not to just quote it, but the one part where he talks about like when his dad shaved and then came out, like that shit had me dying. Because,
why'd you do it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like it's so right on, God. And the other one when his dad only came to school one time, I was crying. Like,
Where'd you put the rake?
Yeah.
It's on the nail. Is it?
It's so good.
Yeah.
God damn.
He just like he's amazing.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Well, so yeah, I mean, dude, I'm psyched for you and for him and for Jennifer and for Luke and everybody that was involved with that project because I'm sure it's going to be hilarious. I can't wait. So is it hilarious or is it because the title Murder Mystery to me, when I look at those two as the main two, I'm like, it's going to be funny.
Yeah.
And then you hear Murder Mystery and you go, oh, maybe there's like a level of seriousness to the funny. I don't know. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
And it's, it's sort of Scooby-Doo, but so, like there's like a feeling of like, okay, it's going to be funny and there's going to be segments of, like,
well, I mean, it's a, if it ends up being Murder Mystery, which I think is a genius title.
Yeah.
It's naming itself after a genre.
Yeah.
Of film.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Right. And the genre, it happens to be what we're going through in the movie. Yeah. So it's a genre comedy. It's the epitome of a genre comedy.
Okay. Yeah.
So basically it's a murder mystery with Adam and Jen along for the ride, able to comment and be aware on the genre of murder mysteries throughout.
Yeah.
It's genius.
Yeah, that's going to be
really,
awesome.
really great. And I think it's I don't know, man. I hope it stays that way.
The title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally. So it's a genre comedy, which means in my mind that the genre has to be based in a reality.
Right.
So there is a weight to the movie.
Yeah.
There's definitely like a weight to it where you're like, whoa, this is scary kind of,
Yeah.
Because you have to have that in order for the comedy to really pop out.
Yeah, for sure. And I think when you do feel scared, you're on an edge, and it is kind of like easier to laugh at that moment too. Like
Yes.
when you're freaked out a little bit, because I like, not to compare it to, but like when heavy stuff happens in your life, a good laugh and a good joke in that moment really just like alleviates a lot.
Right.
So I feel like that's a really cool thing, is that you're on that edge of frightened, but then like you're really able to laugh at that moment too.
Totally. It's a release of like tension.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
So
cool.
if you like, I always love that, which is why I'm drawn to the action comedy, or like I was drawn to the action comedy with Game Over Man, because it was like, you can take that anticipation and people are like, what's around the corner, or who's shooting at them, or what, or are they going to die, and put a joke in that moment. And it's just like, wow, such a release, such a release that I think it results in something that's like, just heavier than a regular comedy. Like you end up getting these like massive laughs rather than just like a couple giggles.
Yeah, dude, that's a great way to. Yeah, I mean, I hadn't really thought of it until you kind of.
I spent my whole life thinking about this shit.
Yeah. well, it's working.
And so the murder mystery is like the same kind of thing, where it's like, it's not action. It's still there is action in the movie. There's good action, and there's also a critical thinking element, serious nature, where you're like, who did it?
Yeah.
Because it's a classic whodunit, you know?
Yeah. Nice. Damn, dude, I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
So do you know any idea of when it might come out? Or?
June. Yeah,
Okay.
June 12th.
Oh, so you have the exact date.
June 12th on
hell yeah.
Netflix.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's like the week after Stranger Things drops.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect. I was wondering about Stranger Things because it hadn't been on for a long time, and I was like, oh, maybe it's over, but they're coming out.
They shot that up in my hometown, up in Martinez, I guess.
I
just found that out. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. So how about a trailer for it? Do you know when they'll kind of give a little glimpse of what the movie is? Or
Well, we're starting to see them.
Okay.
I know that they're working on it. I know that they've been working on it.
And that's got to be exciting I feel like, seeing it all come together.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Because the whole time I was shooting the movie, I'm like, trailer moment, trailer moment,
Yeah.
trailer moment, trailer moment, trailer moment. And I'm like, I can't wait to see how they put it all together. Because that's like, trailer editing is an art in and of itself, where it's just like, God, those guys are so smart.
Yeah.
Something I never ever I tried to do, but I never could get the handle. It's a lifetime of dedication. That shit's crazy.
Oh yeah. Because I feel like it is totally separate. Like if you compared it to like acting, it's like when you go do like an audition compared to when you're doing the role in front of a camera, there's like two totally different like art forms in a way.
Yes,
it's sort of
correct.
like a trailer edit and the actual film edit is like
totally different pacing and information.
Yeah.
And, all that stuff. Yeah. So I'm super excited. We actually got, like, right now we have a song in the movie that is not my band, but I have a little label as well, like a boutique label.
Mm-hmm.
And one of our bands just got put in the movie.
Nice.
And we just gave them the instrumental to put behind the trailer. So, because I was like, it's in the movie, what if you use this track and it's right over the titles of Murder Mystery, and it's like, right now, I mean, anything can happen, but right now it's looking good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if it's there, let's put it in the trailer.
Damn, and what is your label, like your music label? Is it Wonk as well, or
the music label is called Fade.
Fade. Okay.
Yeah, Fade Music Company.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
We basically started it because we were scoring some Workaholic stuff. And then we started putting our music out through it, and then we put other people's music out through it too.
Yeah.
Like friends and family and stuff.
Yeah, and so Fade Up, Fade Out, Bye is your band, and you're on that label.
Yeah.
You guys are putting out some music here soon. I mean, I'm getting little tastes of it on Instagram, and it's awesome, man. God, that just those clips of that video are just so cool.
It's a wild video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fade Up, Fade Out, Bye it's our third album.
Yeah.
And this one is the first one of our albums that we're trying to push like through the label. We're trying to actually like put together a little mini campaign and like create a little bit of hype on it, and make it so people anticipate the drop.
Yeah.
And try and give it to people beforehand, and
coming out on Love Day. So.
Yeah. So we start on Valentine's Day.
Cool.
And then we're gonna do one single a month, basically, with video accompany.
Hell yeah.
And then imagery and teasers and all that stuff, because the album itself is called Basically Love.
Oh yeah, well, perfect day to put it out then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I love like the cupcake eye patch thing that I was like, where did he get that? It's so
the
good.
Wonderful director, Angela Vega.
Yeah.
Angela, yeah.
Yeah, she seems super like creative and talented. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's super dope.
Yeah.
Super dope. Yeah.
So
I think I said Angela Vega, but her name is Angela Lopez.
Oh yeah, what?
But I can't remember where she landed with her. I'll have to talk to her where she landed with her artistic name.
Yeah, but Vega is her, because I saw that somewhere too. I think that name, Angela Vega.
I think that's where it's landing, Angela Vega.
Okay.
Yeah, I suddenly got shocked. I'm like, is that her name?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, it's a cool name.
Yeah. I remembered it first.
Yeah. No, it's cool, and I love all the color in the video, and just kind of. For me, like, I think, obviously, like, I feel like, I've started to become buds with you from doing the ping pong thing, but I'm also a fan in the sense that, like, I love everything that you're doing, and I just have a good time watching all that stuff. And on top of that, like, you do weird stuff, and I love weird. Like, it's like just, I love everything that's, like, out there a little bit. Like if it's right on plane with the kind of pop culture mass thing.
Oh yeah.
I sort of am like, I don't know. Yeah. And then when it's like, just more creative, funny people and weirder sets and things that are just out there a little bit, like that draws me in immediately. That captures my attention. So the stuff that you do, I'm like, yes, this is what I love. Like, and it's cool to watch that. Just that video alone, like all the characters that are in it, I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's tight. It's pretty. That video is radical. It is so out there, and I love it. And then we're doing another one that's animated. The next one we release is going to be an animated video.
Oh, hell yeah.
Which is in the style of like, 70s animation, kind of like early Sesame Street type shit.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I'm in love with it.
Yeah.
And then we're doing another one that on 420 we're going to release one that has nug puppets. Like
just like weed puppets?
Like weed puppets.
Yeah, there you go.
And they're singing and dancing and kind of having their own little vision quest through the desert.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you already make the puppets? Like you already shot it or?
I had the idea about the puppets like 2 or 3 years ago, and I wanted to make something that was called the California Nugs.
Yeah, like the California Raisins?
Yeah. So we started like kind of research on puppets, and I made these 3 puppets. Actually, Angela did. She made the 3 puppets when I connected it with this video.
Oh, hell yeah.
The song is called like "Don't You Feel Like Loving Me."
Yeah.
And I just thought it'd be cool if some nugs were singing "Don't You Feel Like Loving Me."
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, hell, I did for a long time.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Well, too much of anything, no good.
Yeah. Too much loving.
Yeah, too much loving. You gotta be careful of that. Too much.
Yeah. I tend to love a little too much.
I know. I walk the line with that particular one right now, and I'm actually like, well, how far am I? Am I Snoop Dogg? What am I doing?
No, you're not bad. We've been sitting here almost an hour, and I haven't smelled that at all. So I'll say you're mellow.
I'm mellow.
If it were me in that time, there would be 6 of them have already been fired off by the time we were done.
Wow, yeah. I mean, you have video evidence of being one of the wildest boys.
Yeah. There were some crazy days.
Yeah, man. But good on you, man.
Yeah. No, it's been rad doing this, but brother, it's been cool sitting down and chatting with you, and I'm excited for all the new stuff that's coming out. And you're on Instagram, Kyle Newacheck.
Yep.
And Wonk
Yep.
Incorporated is your production company.
That's the production company. Yeah.
And
that
then-
one, that's where the ping pongs. That's where you can watch ping pong.
Dude, we got to get another live ping pong going. That
We're
was so
working
much
on it.
fun.
We were saying like this weekend coming up is probably when we're going to start really trying to find who the competitor is.
Nice.
I'll start baiting everybody on Instagram again, and
Yeah.
we'll get that going. And
I saw Steve-O with a little bit of a, I'm interested, but it's like, hey, man, you got to come with a real video. You got to come with the hype.
Exactly. And I mean, it can be taken. There's a lot of, you don't always have to be a throwback of wrestler. You can create your own persona.
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
anything that you want, you
Yeah.
know. That's what's so cool about it is like,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I'm not playing a wrestler, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
You were doing it to play with it,
Yeah,
you know? And
yeah.
it's like, you can play whatever you want.
It
The
was
whole
fun.
thing is just the ping pong.
And that's the thing, because clearly I lost. But if I didn't, I was like, I knew who I wanted to challenge, and I had a whole other idea of going down a totally different road.
Oh, you
know?
were going to switch characters?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. That's the plan. Hulk Hogan was only directed towards you.
Oh, wow.
And then I want to go all new.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
That's kind of tight.
Yeah, gotta take it all new. I might have to. I might have to challenge TK the pussy out there.
We were
at some
talking about
point.
creating like a new belt too,
Yeah.
and making it so. Yeah, we're this whole fucking thing's up in flux. We don't
Dude,
know. We're
yeah.
making it up as we go.
Yeah, dude, it was so funny though, because when we were first doing it, I did the Hulk Hogan thing, and I was like, "And TK's a pussy, and Blake can't protect you," and and then we were putting it up, and I seriously texted TK and was like, "Yo, just so you know, I don't think you're a pussy, man. I actually really love you." And because I was all nervous, I was like, "Dude, I don't want him to think,
Right.
and I was nervous, oh, no, because I actually really like him. I don't want to think I'm talking. And then he got on the Instagram. He's like, "Not a pussy," and he's like doing all this stuff, and I was like, "Yes." And it was so much fun. Yeah.
If anything, you gave him an angle to
Yeah,
go for
yeah,
that shit.
yeah,
It's all good,
Yeah,
man.
and it was, but at first, I was getting
I
to know
know.
you guys, so I was like, I hope that he doesn't really think I'm an asshole. And,
That is the weird part. Is we
Yeah.
never discussed where the lines were.
Yeah,
We never
there are
discussed
lines.
what we were doing and
Yeah.
where the boundaries were, or anything like that. We just went after it, and
Yeah.
that's what's cool about it. That what is so invigorating about the ping pong thing is it's like we're just experimenting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And so Steve-O, come get me.
yeah, yeah.
Fucking come get me. I bet you can play.
You heard that here, Steve-O.
I bet he's fucking good.
Oh, I
like
know he
I'm
is.
scared.
Yeah.
Cut.
It's cut.
Cut.
Well, just the fact that he's so coordinated, and he's running around on stilts. He was an actual clown. And,
I know.
And he's really good at everything that he does.
There's
so-
videos where pro ping pong tables will jump up onto the table and return it, and then get back off and get around. And when
Whoa.
I think about Steve-O playing, I feel like that's the kind of shit I'm going to have to deal with.
Yeah.
Is jumping on the fucking table
I
and
wouldn't
pulling out
doubt
some
it.
backflips, and it's just like, what? No! How did you just did that? What? And lighting his farts on fire. He's going to have a trampoline on that side.
Backflip fart on fire off the table. Yeah.
And fucking ace of a serve.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like, okay. Jesus, bro.
Yeah. Uh-huh. I think you're pretty right on with what it'll be. Well,
Cool.
yeah, we'll have to keep these going and more ping pong in the future. And thanks for coming on the Bathroom Break podcast.
Oh, thanks for having me.
And
man.
thanks for letting me take over Wonk Studios.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime.
All right.
Awesome.
Thanks.